Hello from Singapore, I'm Galinda. Today is May the 18th, day 42 of the circuit breaker period. I've totally enjoyed myself doing the video for the last 2 days, picking up on the subject of conspiracy theories. And shooting the video has been very fun for me. But today I would like to talk a bit more about how conspiracy theory begin. The conspiracy theory video called The Plandemic has recently went viral. And despite the fact that YouTube and Facebook has taken it down from their websites, it's still being uploaded, viewed and shared every single day, millions of times. The video is an interview with conspiracy theorist called Judy Mikovits, a disgraced former virology researcher who believes that COVID-19 pandemic is based on a vast deception with the purpose of profiting from selling vaccinations. A group of scholars in the UK have started their research on how to counter science misinformation and conspiracy theories. They believe there is also a value in exposing the rhetorical techniques used in Plandemic. We can learn some of the traits to help us spot the red flags of a baseless conspiracy theory and hopefully build some resistance to being taken in by this kind of thinking. Conspiracy theories are also committed to disbelieving an official account. It doesn't matter if their belief system is internally contradictory. The Plandemic video advances two false origin stories for the coronavirus. It argues that COVID-19 came from a lab in Wuhan. But it also argues that everybody already has the coronavirus from previous vaccinations, and wearing masks would activate it. Believing both causes is mutually inconsistent. Conspiracy theorists are overwhelmingly suspicious towards the official account. That means any scientific evidence that doesn't fit into the conspiracy theory must be faked. But if you think that the scientific data is faked, that leads down the rabbit hole of believing that any scientific organization publishing or endorsing research consistent with the official account must be in the conspiracy. As for COVID-19, this includes the WHO, the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Food and Drug Administration, Anthony Fauci, basically any group or person who actually knows anything about science must be part of the conspiracy. In a conspiracy theory, the conspirators are assumed to have evil motives. In the case of Plandemic, there's no limit to the nefarious intent. The video suggests scientists, including Anthony Fauci, engineered the COVID-19 pandemic, a plot which includes killing hundreds of thousands of people so far for potentially billions of dollars of profit. Conspiracy theories may occasionally abandon specific ideas when they become untenable, but those revisions tend not to change their overview conclusion that something must be wrong and that the official account is based on deception. When Plandemic filmmaker Nikki Willis was asked if he really believed COVID-19 was intentionally started for profit, his response was, "I don't know, to be clear, if it's intentionally or naturally occurring situation. I have no idea." He has no idea. All he knows for sure is something must be wrong. It's too fishy. Conspiracy theorists think of themselves as victims of organized persecutions. Plandemic further ratchets up the persecuted victimhood by characterizing the entire world population as victims of a vast deception, which is disseminated by the media and even ourselves as unwitting accomplices. At the same time, conspiracy theorists see themselves as brave heroes taking on the villainous conspirators. It is so hard to change a conspiracy theorist's mind because their theories are self-sealing. Even absence of evidence for a theory becomes evidence for the theory. And the reason why there's no proof of conspiracy is because the conspirators did such a good job covering up. Conspiracy theorists see patterns everywhere. They're all about connecting the dots. Random events are reinterpreted as being caused by the conspiracy and woven into a broader interconnected pattern. Any connections are imbued with a sinister meaning. For example, the Plandemic video suggestively points to the US National Institutes of Health funding that has gone to the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. This is despite the fact that the lab is just one of many international collaborators on a project that sought to examine the risk of future viruses emerging from wildlife. As the scholars explore in their conspiracy theory handbook, there are a variety of strategies that we can use in response to conspiracy theories. One approach is to inoculate ourselves and our social networks by identifying and calling out the traits of conspiratorial thinking. Another approach is to cognitively empower people by encouraging them to think analytically. The antidote of conspiratorial thinking is critical thinking, which includes healthy skepticism of official accounts while carefully considering available evidence. Understanding and revealing the techniques of conspiracy theorists is key to inoculating ourselves and others from being misled, especially when we are most vulnerable in times of crisis and uncertainty. It is called congee and very similar to porridge. However, porridge is made of oat or oatmeal and other grains. Congee is based on rice. The version I've chosen today is with pork innards and century eggs. This is one century egg. Century egg is the interesting part of this dish. The century egg got its name from being fermented, usually for a few months, and then it darkens during this aging process when it's soaked in ashes and among other ingredients. Here you can see the egg yolk. The egg yolk is slightly firmer than a simple boiled egg, and the white is now translucent into a brown-gray color. It's savory without being overly salted. The texture is a perfect foil to salty, chewy ground pork in smooth congee like this one. And seen often on television, it's classified as one of the bizarre foods.